Hey everybody, welcome to our very first Season 1 special edition of the Leaders Podcast. Quite excited about this next group of guests because not only do I find these individuals vibrant, but I find them quite authentic and articulate about that which they are. I'm your host, Mpomuntu, and you're here because you believe that you too have been called to build and live an impactful life. However, you understand that having a potential that cannot be put into fruition is similar to living a life that is purposeless. Having said that, our goal and mission with this show is to introduce you to stories of young people across the globe who we believe are the next generation of thought leaders in their respective fields. Right, this episode's guest is formerly known as Malkia the Band. The trio started in September 2018, just after they've been enrolled as students at the African Leadership Academy here in Johannesburg, South Africa. Since then, they've been invited not only once, but twice to perform at the prestigious Anzisha Prize held by the African Leadership Academy in collaboration with the MasterCard Foundation. They've had the chance to share the stage with our very own Maps Maponyane and Tanate Gambrua and other C-level executives or business guns across the continent. They've performed at the African Leadership Academy, Model African Union, where they've had 300 delegates fly in from all 4 different cardinal points of our African continent, including the likes of our very own Lindiwe Mazibuko. It was only a matter of time that in April 2020, the group would rise to fame after the famous Nigerian star Yemi Alade posted their performance on her personal Instagram. This saw the video go viral as it hit just under 100,000 views within the first 2 weeks that the video was posted. Think of the next Sauti Sol, think of the next authentic African sound on the rise, think Malkia. Without any further ado, ladies, thank you so much for joining us here at the Leaders Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
I think it's quite an interesting time, and I think having seen you guys, I wanted to start this episode with really a message of gratitude. You guys have personally inspired me to do the work that you're doing, and I know, having observed you guys observe what you guys have done for yourself, what has been amazing is seeing how you guys have been so committed to Malkia. What I really want to start us off with is the origins of Malkia. The name Malkia, what does it mean? And how do you guys as a band embody that name?
First off, my name is Chemutai.
I'm Osa.
And I'm Gayle. And well, Malkia began as a result of Anzisha. We all wanted to audition to perform at the Anzisha Prize, but we felt it would be more powerful if we came together and auditioned together. And we did, and we got the position. And we did, and we got the gig not once, but twice.
Yeah. In terms of the name itself, how it came about is on campus we have this kind of like thing that we do where when girls succeed in whatever field that they are in, we usually call them queens, so we're just like go queens. And Malkia is literally translated into Kiswahili as queen, so that's how the name came about. Yeah.
So the name Malkia is queen in Kiswahili.
Yes.
Quite interesting. One of the things I found quite interesting is that you guys all came from different backgrounds, like different ethnicities. I know both of you are from Kenya, also has quite a complex background. How do you guys merge these different ethnicities through the work that you guys do? Do you guys face any challenges? And or is there beauty in that?
So I think, first of all, the only challenge I face is just learning lyrics that are in Swahili or like different languages. Some of us, since we're in South Africa, all of us have to like sing songs that are in like Zulu or like languages that we're not used to and accents that we kind of have to perfect. But I think it is kind of a beautiful thing that we kind of merge these ethnicities together, especially since both of these guys are Kenyan and a lot of our, I don't want to call it a fan base, but like a lot of our followers are from Nairobi and in Kenya in general. And we kind of, it's not like a typical, like I think a lot of artists in Kenya are like purely Kenyan, and I think our group kind of gives it a different dynamic.
Yeah. So like we have a fan base in Kenya, we also have a fan base in Nigeria, and also in South Africa it seems to be growing. So I guess there's power in like the diversity in our group.
Yeah, plus a lot of the music that we do do covers for are from different regions of the continent, which is really cool. It gives it like a flavor.
So talking about power and diversity, I really want to go down memory lane. Take us to September 2018, right? You guys have just been enrolled at this academy. I really want to understand the mastermind behind Malkia. Who heard who first, and how did you guys decide that the three of you are gonna do what you guys have done?
Okay, so how it started was I knew that I was interested in performing for Anzisha, but the specific song that I wanted to perform would require other voices. And I had had Osa sing before because a friend of mine played for me secretly. She didn't really approve, but he played for me one of the songs. You did a cover of Hallelujah, and I remember being mind blown. And with Chemutai, we met at the containers when Tago was playing and we were both singing. Yeah, so I think I approached Osa first. And then I don't remember, but like we just came together and maybe you can talk about your interest in.
So just like Gayle, I was interested in auditioning for Anzisha, but I thought there was only one person who was going to be picked, and I knew all of us could sing really well. So I said, instead of having only one person get it, why don't we audition all together, and then we'll even be more powerful and deliver. But I just like to say it was funny in the beginning because Osa was very shy to sing. Like when we approached her, she wasn't even sure she wanted to perform. When I came to her and I was like, oh, I heard you singing in the bathroom, she tried to pretend it wasn't her who sang. So I just like to say, like, ever since 2018, like Osa has grown a lot vocally, in her confidence, in her abilities. So I just like to commend her for that.
Yeah.
Right, talking about that performance, the very first one, right? You guys have just discovered each other. I think what is interesting is that having seen you guys, I know the amount of dedication and perseverance that goes behind in preparation to that. A lot of people think that you guys just walk up and it eventually merges. So for your very first performance, talk to me about the process and the preparation that you guys went through.
How many songs did we audition with? 3?
The first song we auditioned with was Beyonce, right? So I was here by Beyonce, and it was really slow, and it's the first time we'd actually sung together, so it wasn't that good. And then they told us that they wanted a more upbeat song. So we decided to do Where Have You Been by Rihanna, which was kind of also a blow, but I think that the people who were, I think they kind of saw the potential in us, and we told them that this wasn't the song we were going to perform, but we just wanted to show them like our vocal abilities, and hopefully we would choose a song that would fit it, and like we would work with them in order to like give a good performance. So when we were sitting outside, it was like late at night, we were trying to pick a song. It took forever. And we thought of Afrika, but we didn't think we could do it in the beginning. And we were like, we could try it, and we had a lot of suggestions. We tried so many different songs. And then I don't remember who said, let's actually try it and let's do it. But we ended up trying it, we did it. We practiced like maniacs, like literally every single second we could get, we practiced. And that's pretty much, we delivered.
And that is really quite true, because Malkia's performance of Afrika is actually one of the most popular on campus, and members who really kind of attended that session. Talk to me about once you're on stage. It's your first performance. You've got a bunch of C-level executives, entrepreneurs from all around the continent looking at you guys. How does it feel in that moment? And what were some of the things that you guys were telling yourselves, either individually? What were some of your internal conversations in that very moment?
Well, for me, I wasn't really thinking about the audience, if I'm being honest. I was really nervous because it was our first time on a really big stage performing together. And when I get nervous, I tend to either forget like the key that we're starting in, the lyrics, like right before I go on stage. So before I just kept on practicing, I was like, is this the key? Are these the lyrics? And when we got on stage and we started singing, I was like, oh my God, we sound so good. Because, like, I don't know what it was. Also, like the microphones we were using, the quality. So when we started singing, I was like, yeah, we can do this. And we delivered. So I'd say that's what was going through my head when we were performing.
And I think just to really unpack, I think I really want to delve into, a lot of people kind of mistake you guys with what you guys do and kind of forget that you guys are human, right? So I really want to delve into the lowest points as Malkia. What were moments that you guys found challenging? as a group, or moments where you felt like, you know, I've had enough? Yeah.
We get so like when we practice, we sometimes we had a Instagram live I think a couple of weeks ago, and we practiced every day for at least like 3 hours, and we would sit in like my room or Gayle's room late at night practicing over and over and over again until we got it correct, and sometimes we just get so drained. And yeah, I think, and also honestly, like even after we practice all those times, sometimes we still go on stage and mess up. And I think what I've learned is like you can't be perfect as long as you're having fun and you're doing what you love. Like yeah, and also we push each other a lot. Like when we're at our lowest point, sometimes we all come to practice and we're just not in the best mindset, and we're just not. And you know, sometimes we just talk about it. Sometimes we take a break. We don't practice. We just talk about what we're going through, what we're feeling. And yeah, it's kind of like a little support group in a way. So yeah, with all like the practice and the hard work, sometimes we do get down, but like yeah, we uplift ourselves and each other. So yeah.
I'd say, adding on to what Osa said, it's a lot of practice time that goes into what you do, so you come and you're really tired, and not forgetting that we're students. So let's say we spend like our whole prep time between 7 to 9 practicing, and then you have a deliverable that's due at 10 p.m. So it's like figuring out how you're going to do your work, so your academic life is still thriving, as well as like your musical life. I just say that's where we really started being pushed and pulled.
Talking about growth and learning, I know the three of you were also the leadership of ALAMAU, which those of you who don't know is actually a campus here at the academy. Gayle, to you, having to lead this group, were there some of the things that you learned that really either way make the work that you guys do in Malkia easy in any way, or were there some of the things that you learned that you kind of applied to the band?
With the choir, ALAMAU, being director, I think my biggest lesson was just about support, and that you alone cannot literally like run the choir. Yes, I know it's a bit ironic because I was director, but I really did lean onto Osa and Chemutai just because they were my part heads, and we really worked together to form harmonies with the two other part heads that we had. As the director in ALAMAU, I know many of you guys might assume that as director the mantle was on me, but it really wasn't, because we really did divide a lot of the tasks that we had in terms of harmonies, in terms of the nitty-gritties of the choir. So I did really learn to lean on Osa and Chemutai a lot, and I think working together with the choir and also working together in the band really grew us in terms of our relationship just as friends. And honestly, that's something that's really important. If you have good chemistry in your group, even your voices, you sound as one. And yeah, I think that was the biggest takeaway. Yeah.
I think one of the things I also find quite interesting is that in understanding Malkia's trajectory, I think there were various inflection points that really changed the trajectory. Talk to me about some of your most happiest or moments where you felt alive as a band or as individuals part of the band.
I would say during our performances. Just because you spent hours and hours and hours on them trying to perfect this performance, and now you're on stage and it's actually like time to actually, you know, perform in front of this big group of people, and you look to your side and you see familiar faces and you just smile at each other. And being able to see the reaction of the crowd and how we move them with our music and the emotions that are going through their head, like just focusing on different members of the crowd, made me feel like what I was doing was worth it, and I was in some small way impacting the people who are listening to us.
Yeah, I'd agree with what Gayle said.
Yeah. So performance are the most interesting things. Have you guys had the chance to meet with people who've either inspired you, or is there specifics in terms of individuals that you guys personally look up to in terms of the music industry? Not a lot of people look up to Beyonce. I don't know if that's the case for you guys, but who do you guys look up to and be like, that's what we want to become, or that's what I want to become as a member of this band?
Destiny's Child. Yeah, definitely Destiny's Child, just because the harmonies are sick, and they're very talented. The work ethic that they put in is something that you can't touch. So for me, yeah, and Beyonce definitely, she's the queen.
I'd say Beyonce on an international level, just because of how, like, when she performs, she comes with so much passion, and the fact that her vocals are always on point as she's running up and down the stage. Like, I look up to her, not just as a musician, but as a performer, as a businesswoman. When I come to the continent, I look up to people like Yemi Alade. She has a way with crowds. Like, she can really bring out the energy in people, and she's always having fun on stage, and her confidence is something I really look up to.
Yeah, I think to add on that, I'd also say Destiny's Child for all of us and Beyonce as an individual, just because they kind of just carry around this energy that I'm still learning to have, if that makes sense. Like Chem said, I've always been like super shy, and I've really, like, I'm learning a lot every day to be more confident in myself, and looking at those people who just go on stage and just, yeah, like, that's something I look up to.
Now, one of the things that I was thinking about in preparation for this interview is that I understand that you guys are individuals, right? And I don't want to undermine the complexities that you guys bring as individuals. So, for the next session, I really want you guys some personal questions. We'll start off with Chem. What have been some of your own personal happiest moments outside of Malkia that you look back, you're like, that was some of the interesting moments for myself?
So I'd say this is a very tough question because there are many happy moments in my life. But personally, when I bring it onto the ALA campus, in my student enterprise, Osaruwa, we've only been alive and running for a year, and we managed to win Student Enterprise of the Year and make immense profits from a loan that we got. And it was like our baby idea, my friend Anwarite and I. And just seeing like our baby grow and come into fruition, and the community support it and love it. I think just standing on stage and hearing we won Student Enterprise of the Year, that's one of the happiest moments, because all the work that we put in, like, it was right there. I could feel it, all the sleepless nights, the stress, like, it came into fruition.
I think it's been quite a privilege, because I know, for example, I had the privilege of actually working with what I do on behalf of the African Leadership Consulting Group, and having insight and having seen both you and Anwarite dedicated to the work that you guys are doing. And we're talking about your expansion to Kenya. I don't want to disclose anything due to confidentiality, but I really found it interesting, the amount of myopic focus on really just improving this craft. Osa, delving into you, what would be an advice that you'd give to your younger self?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, I've always been super shy and just very not confident in myself, and especially being a person of mixed race and having lived in Uganda and the US, so kind of being a different identity in both places. I never really felt like I fit in anywhere. And honestly, ever since I came to ALA, I've just learned like it's okay not to fit in. Just be your own person, do what you love, and yeah, it's okay to be different. There's beauty in that, and yeah, find friends that support you and embrace how different you are. Yeah, because I never really had that as a child. Yeah.
I think talking about us, I think I've had the privilege of actually observing her into the person that she has become. And one of the things I really find amazing is how at her lowest she looks within and kind of searches for that inner fire to really keep herself going. Gayle, yourself, talk to me about your next big dream.
My next big dream. Wow. So many of you might not know, but I am a creative and I dabble in a lot of sectors, I'd say, in the arts. So besides music, I am a photographer. I am into fashion. I was a fashion model back home, and I just do a lot of things, jewelry making, just many things. And my next big dream is to I don't know, like improve on my arts, I don't know, and probably be the next one of the biggest photographers on the continent, the girl you go to, or I don't know, like just something in line with my interests. Yeah, it's a very difficult question.
We are quite in an interesting time with graduation just around the corner. Personally excited myself to be ending my time at the African Leadership Academy. I'm guessing so are you guys. I really want to delve into some of your next steps. I know Chem has successfully been planning out her next gap year. Also, and Gayle going to colleges. What does your next steps actually look like as individuals?
Okay. So for me, I knew I didn't want to go to university the same time with my year group. I just needed a year off to focus on things I'm passionate about. So there are internships that I've gotten to do with tourism and developing the textile industry in Kenya, because I'm very interested in sustainable development that will enhance economic growth. And seeing as Kenya has a huge tourism sector, I decided to intern in that sector, sorry. And also music, so I'm saving up for my recording equipment so I can learn how to produce music. That's something I've always wanted to do, as well as fashion. I want to learn. I want to learn how to make my own clothes. I really love fashion, but I can't afford most of what I want, so might as well learn how to make it.
So yeah, next year I'm going to be going to Oberlin College, and I think for me, one of the things that I've become really passionate about here is the research I've been doing, which focuses on fibers and African women. And it basically, what I'm doing is advocating for more representation of African and Black women in the medical world, just because there's so much underrepresentation, mistreatment. People really don't know about like the health issues that Black women go through and all that stuff. So yeah, that's something I hopefully want to continue. And then also my college is a very musical campus. It's a college and a conservatory, so there's like a lot of equipment that I can make use of, like private lessons. I can practice all the time, and yeah, I want to make the most of that as well. So hopefully see what I can do with the two of those. But I'll be studying pre-med, so like in the future I want to become a doctor, and we'll see which path I go on.
Next year, I will be attending IE University, which is in Spain, so your girl's heading to Europe. The plan is to travel as much as I can to grow my photography business. Hopefully I'll get the camera of my dreams and actually start making content that makes me happy. I plan on working on myself, a lot of self-growth, figuring out what exactly I want to do in this world, what my goals look like, who I want to be, and yeah, just living my best life and hopefully using some of the knowledge that I acquire throughout my whole experience to help other people.
Talking about graduation, quite an interesting time. I think Steve Jobs put it in quite a nice articulate where he says, you cannot connect the dots looking forwards, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. You guys are at the end of your 2-year journey at the Academy. Are there specific individuals that you guys would like to thank for making this journey so fruitful?
Definitely. Off the top of my head, the Anzisha team, because they gave us our start. The ALA students, because they have been our biggest supporters. Our family, our parents for just supporting our dreams. Is there anyone else you guys would like to add?
My advisory family, like they're always gassing me up. Whenever Malkia would post a video, I go to lunch and they'd be so excited. As well as our literature class. Like whenever we enter, everyone will be like, oh my god, they posted another video this week. I just like adding on the ALA community, both on campus, the alumni. Like there's so much support, and I've never been in such a supportive community. And I hope to find a space as supportive as this, but like, I mean, you never really graduate from the AA network, so we're going to carry it on.
Oh, and actually, special shout out to Ms Takonwa, please.
Yes, and Ms Dudu.
And Ms Dudu, yes.
They're always commenting on our videos, like,
always reposting everything.
Yeah, always commenting.
Yeah. and family back home, have they been?
Yes, definitely.
Like when Yemi Alade posted us on Instagram, I called my family and I was like, guys, don't talk to me anymore. I'm famous. like, I've made it, this is it. And like just seeing how supportive my family has been, I think it's something interesting to see, because on the African continent, and I guess like a lot of the global south, the creative sector isn't taken that seriously.
Yeah.
There's not that much money. So like when you tell your family members, I'm interested in music, I want to pursue it, it's really like, are you sure? Maybe there should be a backup. But like with my family, they're always like, yes, we believe in you. Like even for my birthday, my family members sent me money, so it can add into the savings that I'm putting together recording equipment. So I just like to shout at my family for like believing in me and continuing to encourage me.
I would add on that, my family is also very supportive. My dad especially, because he's also a musician himself. And so I think for me it's kind of like I'm following in his footsteps in a sense. So that also kind of makes me happy, and yeah.
Gayle?
Oh, my family. For me, my family is supportive, definitely. My sisters have been on the journey with me since the start. And with everything that I do, they have always been my #1 supporter, always gassing me up, always just making me feel like I have a place in the world and that what I'm doing is important. And for me, I really, really appreciate the support. Oh, and my brother, he really streamed our life. Yeah, and always turns around. So that's very fast.
Right, as you guys part ways, how do people who are interested in following you guys, how do they keep in touch with the band and his respective individuals?
So we have an Instagram handle at Malkia the Band. Yeah, funny thing about our Instagram, we actually created it in November of last year. And we basically just wanted a place to like keep all of the recordings that we had done. And then it ended up like, we thought it was just going to be like friends and family members following it maybe. Now we have like over 2,000 followers. And like it's really like a lot of people have seen like what we've been doing, and that's how we've been able to grow so much on social media. So yeah, if you guys want to support us, go follow our account. Although after this we don't have plans to continue Malkia, so that's kind of just our place to find what we've already done. Yeah.
Well, this being the last time that you guys will be together, what would you say is your message to the world as a band?
So we sat down and we thought long and hard about this, and something we came up with is dream big. And like life is too short for you to dream small. Too many people aren't happy with the lives they have. So make sure you're not one of those people. Don't let anyone limit your dreams. And when you dream big, actualize those dreams. Put the work so you can achieve those dreams.
And also, there is a lot of power in collaboration, working with like-minded individuals who are equally as passionate as you are and who are as driven as you are. You will get amazing results.
Right, there you have it from Malkia. What I love about these individuals, the sense of unity and collaboration in achieving the same goal. Once again here at the Leaders Podcast, we believe that as more and more young people go conscious of their unique purpose, as they discover their hidden pearl, they essentially add value to society in the only way they can. Please remember to follow us on our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcast and Spotify at The Leaders Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment and share with at least 3 people who you believe will find this episode quite valuable. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us here at The Leaders Podcast. To our audience, it's been such an honor hosting this event. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us here at The Leaders Podcast. To our audience, until next time, asante sana. Thank you.